such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. We will continue to use a clip from John Harris, who has a YouTube channel called Conversations That Matter. Go to it, look at his videos pertaining to this, the entire video in its context. It is mind-blowing. But it's sort of a video documentary of his time at Southern, the seminary in Kentucky there, and dealing with this issue of critical race theory. It is mind-blowing. Here you have a conversation with Dr. Ellis, who speaks in this clip as seemingly they continue to do, as the gospel as it pertains to groups, not individuals, groups, and the preoccupation with Jesus and the gospel changing systems instead of the hearts of the individuals. Look at this clip. And in this clip, he absolutely butchers the scripture to prove his point. Let's play the clip.
People in the dominant group, however you want to define that, the systems that they work in function for them better than they do for the subdominant group. Mm-hmm. They had a distribution system in the early church, taking care of widows. Mm-hmm. But the system broke down when it came to the subdominant group, the Greek widows.
Yeah.
And now the apostles could have said, "Well, you should just be glad enough to be in the body. Why do you complain? This is a good system." Instead, they recognized the problem. They knew they did not have the know-how to root out the problem because they were part of the dominant group. Mm-hmm. So they appointed 7 Greek deacons. There were no Hebraic Jews in that group. They were Greeks, and they were the ones who were tasked with getting the bugs out of the system and running the distribution system for the Jews and the Greek widows. There's more than one way of doing theology.
I think I clipped it off there, but he said there's more than one way to do theology. That's how he ended it. But those were 2 learned men. I actually read a book from Dr. Ellis years ago. I enjoyed it. But here, this is ridiculous. Those are 2 learned men. And when he said that, look at what he says. The subculture, the non-dominant group, that's blacks today, they were being abused by the dominant group, the Hebraic Christians, that's the white people, and it had a problem distributing the goods to the widows. And the dominant group, that's white people, were abusing the subdominant group, that's the black people. And the dominant group were more godly than the dominant group today, that's white people, because they did not know how to fix the problem. They didn't have the wherewithal. So they appointed 7 Greek believers, that's the black people, because the white people weren't smart enough. I mean, the dominant group, the Hebrews, weren't smart enough to figure out and wasn't godly enough, so they had to turn it over to 7 Greek, that's the black people, 7 non-dominant people to fix the problem. That sounds good. That's woke theology at its worst. And here's the problem. When you are so woke, you take the scriptures and you twist it to fit your wokeism. There's one problem with that wonderful sounding stuff. It's wrong biblically. They may have had Greek names, but I'm pretty sure Stephen was a Hebrew. And it's not really that hard. And to the 2 learned men, did you read Acts 7? Have you ever read Acts 6 and Acts 7 together? Acts 6 is when they actually put the 7 men in office. And Acts 7 is Stephen and his time before the Hebrews. Did you read it? No, Stephen was not a Greek. Let's go to the text. Acts 6 is when they put him in office, and what they said pleased the whole gathering, and they chose Stephen, a man full of faith and with the Holy Spirit, and Philip and Prochorus and Nicanor and Timon and Parmenius and Nicholas. Watch it. Nicholas. Look at it. Who was Nicholas? He was a proselyte of Antioch. That means he was once a non-Jew, but he somehow converted to Judaism, and now he's running what the Christians. Not definitive. Here's what is definitive, though. You go to Acts 7:1, and the high priest said, "Are these things so?" When Stephen is brought before the high priest in the Hebrews, are these things so? Because at the end of Acts 6, accusations are brought up. High priest says, "Are these things so?" And Stephen said, what did Stephen say? "My brothers and fathers, hear me. Hear me. The God of glory appeared to our father, Abraham, when he was in Mesopotamia." Our fathers. Our father, Abraham. He don't sound Greek to me. You go on in Acts 7:19 as he goes on in his explanation in the sermon, and he's preaching. He says he dealt shrewdly with our race and forced our fathers to expose their infants. That was 19. Drop down to verse 38. This is the one who was in the congregation in the wilderness with the angel who spoke to him at Mount Sinai with our fathers. He received living oracles to give to us. Our fathers refused to obey him and thrust him aside, and in their hearts they turned to Egypt. That ain't it. It continues to go. He keeps saying our father, our fathers. Father Abraham, he was not a Greek. There was some debate going back and forth. Some people believe that he chose 3 Hebrews, 3 Greeks, and one who was neither. Some people believe that they were all Greeks, but in no way can you say they were all Greeks. Stephen clearly was a Hebrew, and it ain't that hard. But you see, here's the danger. When you're woke, you take the scriptures and you cram the scriptures in your worldview, because everything's about race. Everything is about this wokeism, and you can twist and you can mangle the scriptures because they have to fit within your wokeism theology. And what is a casualty is the truth of the gospel, the truth of the Bible, God's word. And that is why this is dangerous. It's dangerous, people. Don't be so woke you're no longer biblical. And that is what we're starting to see over and over and over again. People are starting to cling to their racial identity, their class identity, instead of looking at God's word. Oh, don't be so woke that you're no longer biblical.
For such a time as this,